Hey everyone, and welcome back to 9 Inch Charge. Today we're going to speculate about which Armies of Infamy we may see in upcoming arcane journals for Warhammer the Old World. To do this, we'll draw inspiration from classic 6th edition army books and supplements including the legendary Storm of Chaos. There is some precedent for doing this, as the Errantry Crusade that you can find in the Bretonnian Arcane Journal made its debut in the Storm of Chaos. So get your hobby desk ready, have your paintbrush poised, and let's get into it. First up, we have the Wood Elves. These forest-dwelling warriors have always had a unique playstyle and might see some fascinating variations in the future. The Wood Elves' connection to nature and their guerrilla warfare tactics have always set them apart. For the Wood Elves, I'm speculating two possible Armies of Infamy, both drawn from their 6th edition army book, and the first is Orion's Wild Hunt. Orion, the king of the woods and the embodiment of Kurnos, leads the Wild Hunt. In this setup, Wild Riders become core units, giving you a swift and aggressive playstyle. These fierce warriors, mounted on their steeds, would charge across the battlefield, creating a dynamic and fast-paced game. Glade Guard and Scouts move to the special slot, meaning you could potentially field an army with no bows. Way Watchers in this setup could not be taken at all. I think this would be really fun to see on the tabletop because Wood Elves are a bit notorious for not engaging with the enemy very much and playing a bit of a dance around you whilst they shoot you. This would definitely be a very engaging army. It emphasises the speed and ferocity of the Wild Hunt and fits the lore perfectly, as Orion is known for leading the Wild Hunt, a furious and relentless charge through the forests and occasionally out into Bretonnia upon some unexpected villagers. The second choice for Wood Elves, also from the 6th edition army book, is Dryker's army. Dryker is a vengeful Branthwraith and commands an army consisting solely of forest spirits. This is due to her distrust of the elves. So this force would include treemen, dryads and treekin, creating a unique presence on the battlefield. Dryker's army also had the special ability where it could place units in reserve and then summon them partway through the battlefield into any woods on the tabletop. This adds a new layer of strategy where the scenery itself can become allied to the Wood Elf forces, and there are ways for Wood Elves to get new woods either through casting Tree Singing or they get one with their army, and this will create some really cool interactions between the army and the tabletop terrain. This army again perfectly fits the lore, as Dryker is fiercely protective of the forest and distrustful of Wood Elves, often leading an army of spirits to exact her vengeance. Next, let's talk about the Beastmen, the chaotic children of the forest. These brutish primal beings are known for their savage raids and unpredictable nature. One of the most intriguing possibilities here is the return of Morga's forces. Again, from 6th edition, in the Beastman army book you would find an army called the Hordes of Morga. Morga the Shadowgave brings chaos and madness wherever he goes. His army would be a wild mix with no general. This is interesting because you won't be able to use Inspiring Presence, but then your opponent won't be able to claim benefits for slaying your general. Chaos marks are freely chosen, allowing for a diverse and unpredictable force. In 6th edition, Beastmen would often mix their forces with mortals and demons, but Morga's army disallowed that. So again, I would expect to see some limitations on the army you could take on the battlefield. Perhaps only true Beastmen could belong to this army, so for example, no giants. All units in the army would suffer from the Unruly rule, which was a kind of impetuosity, but they would also all gain the Raiders rule, which would let them be skirmish and still claim a rank bonus in combat, providing incredible tactical flexibility. An army where you could give skirmish to units that don't usually get it would be a massive tactical advantage, because skirmish gives you that 360 line of sight, so you'll be able to charge anywhere, and being able to choose different marks for everything is cool as well. Now, moving on to the High Elves, the majestic defenders of Ulthuan. These noble warriors are known for their grace, skill and discipline, and I've got two exciting possibilities here. Firstly, we could see potentially the return of Imric. Imric is the Lord of Dragons and would lead an army featuring more accessible dragon princes who would move up a slot. This means you could field more of these elite knights known for their bravery and skill. Additionally, in Imric's 6th edition rules, dragons could not attack him, and seeing this rule return would be incredible in the current meta. It would add a layer of strategic depth, making Imric not only a powerful leader, but also a key figure in your army's strategy. Personally, I would absolutely love to see Imric's model come back. And although I think there'll be quite a large part of the community that would not want to see a dragon-focused army for the High Elves, it really does suit them, and maybe having Imric as a checkmate to other dragons would actually help us to see them less in the meta. Next would be the High Elf Sea Patrol, which would be absolutely perfect for the setting of Warhammer the Old World, as the naval aspect of the High Elves is pretty much all anyone living in the Old World would ever see. This unique force came from the Storm of Chaos supplement, and would see unique wizards such as Stormweaver mages, skilled with their weather manipulation and naval warfare. Merworms could appear in the rare slot, although I'm not expecting to see them back, although it would be really cool. Core units would include Lothern Sea Guard Rangers, a scouting unit would be a special at 2+, adding elite skirmishers to the force, and repeater bolt throwers would be rare, providing devastating range support. Now this really was a gunline army that could be supported by Skycutter chariots. In the rules, it used to get an additional round of shooting in the first turn, which is hugely devastating. I really like this one, as there are cohesive models that you could do it with, and it really does fit the lore. If you look at the map of the Old World, there are still lots of coastal regions and ports controlled by High Elves in the Old World. Now let's dive into something dark and chaotic. The Twisted Warriors of Chaos are known for their ferocity and unyielding devotion to the Dark Gods. One of the most iconic figures here could be the ever-chosen Azavar Kull, who is the ever-chosen during the Great War against Chaos, and may well still be the ever-chosen at this point. So the first army has to be the host of Azavar Kull, the ever-chosen. As I said, he's a legendary figure among the forces of Chaos, and if his army is anything like Archaon the Ever-Chosen's army, he could lead an army featuring any Chaos marks, providing tremendous flexibility for a highly customizable force. And his own unit, the Swords of Chaos, would be undivided Chaos Knights, elite warriors loyal to the Ever-Chosen, so they have to choose Mark of Undivided, and if Azavar Kull himself leads the unit, they'd be immune to psychology. Personally, I am really hoping that we get to see this army. I really hope that we get to see the new old Ever-Chosen. I think Azavar Kull is a really great character to see come back as well, so I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for this one. And lastly, we have the Empire, the stalwart defenders of humanity. These brave soldiers and their powerful war machines stand as a bulwark against chaos and darkness, and I've got two classic options here. Firstly is the Cult of Ulrich, which was a supplement in 6th edition, and it would bring unique and thematic force dedicated to the god of battle and winter. The 6th edition supplement was really fleshed out and featured unique prayers, magic items, characters, and new units such as the Hunting Hounds, and upgrades to your current infantry. The Cult of Ulrich is one of the oldest and most martial sects in the Empire, with warriors who are fanatically devoted. The Knights of the White Wolf are one of the coolest units in the game, and it would be great to see a really thematic all-cavalry Empire army. And my last choice, I must admit, does not have any precedent from any rule books or from any supplements that I've read. It is just pure wish listing, but I would love to see an army centered around the firepower of Nuln, the artillery capital of the Empire. This force could feature a variety of artillery units, from cannons, mortars, providing devastating range support. Imagine the thunderous roar of cannons as your artillery pounded the enemy into submission. Handgunners, you name it, everything carries something black powder. It all probably blows up in their faces, but I think it would be a really cool army to see. And a recent tournament result does seem to suggest that it could definitely work on the battlefield as well. And there you have it. These are my speculations on the potential Armies of Infamy we might see coming to Warhammer the Old World, based on the history from 6th edition and Storm of Chaos and another supplement there. What do you think? Did I miss any of your favourites? Let me know in the comments below. We do read every single comment, and we love hearing your thoughts and keeping the discussion going and moving on. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. If you want to support the channel further, consider joining our Patreon, where you can have access to some free goodies and will get early access to these videos. A big thank you to all our current Patreon supporters who make this possible. Thank you very much for watching, and till next time, keep on wargaming.